Hello, and I'm glad to welcome you to yet another interesting edition of your news program tagged The World This Week. On today's edition, as always, we shall be serving you the latest local, national and international news. On the second segment, foreign news recap, sports roundup, entertainment news, and the big one, Saturday special, we climax our package for the day. On Saturday special this week, we will take you through Benin Republic, a country that is known to be a board of the three notable progenitor of Yoruba race. I am Adebola Oshomoji. I'll be right back after this break. Don't go away. According to Edwin Elliott, by being yourself, you put something wonderful in the world that was not there before. And not to forget that you can watch us live on Facebook at OGTV and Ogun State Television, YouTube at OGTV Abeokuta, and on OGTV website www.ogtv.com.ng/live. For the latest news and report, you can check us on these platforms: X at OGTV, Instagram at Ogun State Television, or download OGTV app on Apple Store and Google Play Store. And now to the news. The All Progressives Congress, APC, Ikenne local government has successfully conducted a free, fair and transparent election to choose 27 executive members who will steer the affairs of the party for the next 3 years. The election, which was held in a peaceful atmosphere, saw party members actively participated in the democratic process by demonstrating unity and commitment to the growth and stability of the party at the grassroots level. At the end of the exercise, Comrade Temitope Seidu emerged as the chairman and Comrade Adegbenro Ominuga as secretary, and the 25 other executive members were duly elected to manage the activities and demonstration of the party within Ikenne local government in line with the party's constitution and guidelines. Members of the party affirmed the election of the executive through voice vote, and by raising their membership cards, party stakeholders commended the orderly conduct of the election, describing it as credible and reflective of the collective will of members in the local government area. The APC officer who presided over the election, Comrade Sulaimon Iyegunle, while speaking with newsmen, commended the party members for the peaceful conduct of the election.
The process is very okay. There is no any argument within the party. Everything went in both through the delegate accreditation, the result counting, both recording, and everything went smoothly without any problem.
Affirming the election processes, the electoral officer from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, at Ikenne local government, Mrs. Yetunde Adams, described the election as peaceful, stating that the complement of the ruling party members was impressive and commendable.
And everybody has been in agreement, so it is a consensus and there's no issue, and everything has just been okay. It's all been done well.
Reacting on the conduct of the election, the chairman of Ikenne local government, Alhaji Jamiu Ashimi, thanked the members of the party for the large turnout.
Today, I believe it's going to perform. I won't say more than what I did, but it's going to perform more than I. So I'm so happy today the way everything went on. It was peaceful. Nobody is here to disrupt the USSR. We thank God for that.
He also urged the newly elected executive members to be transparent and ensure that the welfare and the interest of the members are well protected at all times. Alhaja Faidat Sarumi Akintunde and Henry Fagbenro have been returned as chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, for Abeokuta North and Abeokuta South local government areas, respectively. The pair were unanimously affirmed by voice vote in a party congress conducted under the APC constitution, which allowed for consensus and the indirect mode of selection Observers said the process emphasized unity and party cohesion. Bumi Adegun, who monitored the exercise, described an initially tense start with scattered pockets of disagreement that were subsequently resolved through dialogue and party procedures. His report.
Party faithful turned out early to participate in the APC local government congresses held a few days after world congresses across the states. At Unity High School, Lafenwa, members gathered to elect executives for the local government 16 wards.
Coming here today to party, we had issues, but we didn't allow the issue to degenerate into crisis.
It should be a very smooth process. As you can see, everyone has been gathered. We are just waiting for the INEC officials to arrive. Once they arrive, everything should go on smoothly as expected.
While awaiting the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) representative, organizers discovered the group had assembled at the wrong venue. INEC officials directed them to reconvene at Oriomi Okeshokuri, where the party secretariat is located. In no time, the crowd moved to the new venue in large numbers as the APC returning officer addressed the gathering.
There are so many of them outside, but the ones that were accredited were the ones inside. They have come from all the 16 wards of Abeokuta North local government, and the peaceful nature of the Congress does credit to our party.
As names proposed by consensus were read out, some delegates expressed discontent with certain selections, briefly stalling proceedings. The issues were resolved and the process continued to conclusion.
In Abeokuta North, we always consider the zoning aspect of it, and our leaders are politically mature. I wish every local government can actually emulate Abeokuta North local government.
As you know, we are here to exercise our franchise, which is the Congress of Local Governments, in which it has been peaceful. But I can affirm to you there's inclusivity as our people are keenly included in the process.
We have all agreed, the whole leader in Abeokuta North local government, we are going to return at least 98% of all the executive members of our party. And the reason being that it's a winning team. No doubt there are issues here and there, complaints here and there, but then nobody is perfect. Sometimes we have to forgo some things. The most important thing to us now is for us to win.
Definitely. We have prominent leaders in our local government, and this is, as you can see, it's been peaceful all day. We were supposed to be at Unity High School before we come back to this ground, just to confirm, to validate our primary election. So,
a similar scene played out at the Centenary Hall Ake, where some members raised concerns about accreditation transparency.
We have many members in APC in Abeokuta South. We are over 1 million. So when we are doing a congress like this, we expect a lot of party members, party faithful. If it is crowded, you will see them fighting. Are they fighting?
Everything is normal. Whatever you're seeing here is just an argument between brothers and sisters, fathers and sons, fathers and daughters. It's a family, it's strictly family affairs. Abeokuta South is one, indivisible. We are one. We know what we are here to do. And we see that it's going to go rank-free. We don't have any issue at all. We have a lot of members and stakeholders that want to participate, but they are only limited to 5 per ward. So we have to let them know that it's only the 5 delegates per ward that can come in, while the rest can just wait from outside. So that's what we're trying to communicate to them.
Normalcy were restored after members were invited to observe the process. The new executives were then announced and confirmed by voice votes. Alhaja Faridat Salmiaki today and Henry Fagbero were returned as local government chairmen of the All Progressives Congress for Abeokuta North and Abeokuta South respectively, thanks to security agencies whose strong presence helped maintain order and prevent disruptions from those seeking to foment trouble. Bumi Adegun, OGTV News.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Yowa South local government area has conducted its local government congress, electing a new executive committee to pilot the affairs of the party at the grassroots level. The Congress, described by party leaders as peaceful and transparent, produced a Kayode Salako-led executive, setting the tone for the party's preparations ahead of a future political engagement. Benga Adekoya's report is presented in this package.
The peaceful Congress held at the historic Corona Hall in Ilaro drew political stakeholders from the 10 wards that make up the council area as well as the national monitoring team. The exercise produces a new executive committee saddled with the responsibility of managing the party's affairs at the grassroots for the next 4 years.
By the special grace of God, we put God first in everything we have to do, and believing that God will guide us aright to achieve more dividends of democracy to our grassroots members.
Following the adoption of a consensus arrangement by party leaders in the council area, stakeholders described the process as peaceful, orderly, and successful.
From World Congress all over the local government, it was a peaceful exercise. People turned out and it was well done. So we had all our ESCOs in place in Iwa South. The 10 wards had their ESCOs without any challenge, bickering. Now we are doing our local government congress today, and we are sure it's going to come out. We are going to come out without any challenge.
So there is no fight, nothing of rancor, nothing of arguments in this Yewa South State constituency. We are one. We are united. We are one family.
But they should do inclusive. They should rule inclusively.
Speaking after the exercise, Senator Solomon Adiola says the smooth conduct of the Congress reflects the commitment of members to unity and harmony as the party positions itself to win future elections convincingly.
It's very peaceful. There is no rancor. There is no any hiccups anywhere. It's well coordinated. Everybody's at peace. We elected all new local government officers, which is acceptable to all party members and party leaders across the local government.
The local government congress conducted across the state is coming after a successful ward congress of the party.
Still on local government congress, Ogun State Governor Prince Dapo Abiodun has been commended for his leadership of the All Progressives Congress in the state. Chairman of All Progressives Congress Committee for the Conduct of Local Government Congress in Ogun State, Chief Wale Ohu, gave this commendation after monitoring the conduct of the exercise in some local government within the state. Marcel Showme completes the report.
The local congress to select officials that will run the affairs of the Ogun State All Progressives Congress at a grassroots level was held after the successful registration of all members. The Congress committee is out to ensure a hitch-free exercise with a visit to some of the local governments where the Congress is conducted.
The party is very vibrant in Ogun State, and it's obvious that that's the handwork of the leader of the party in the state, that's the governor, Dapo Abiodun, which means he's tried much as possible to revitalize the party. That's one. The second thing is that we could see harmony, reflecting around the members, unity around the members. So this cohesion give us an impression that the party is on a good state in Ogun State.
The chairman of the committee, Chief Wale Ohu, praised the conduct of the exercise, which is a clear demonstration of the readiness of the party to record a landslide victory in the coming elections.
We will equally tell them that in politics, it is a spirit of give and take most of the times. You don't have it all. You win small, you lose small. But the most important thing is at all times for the party to have a win-win situation.
Speaking on the exercise while participating in Eweko local government, Deputy Chief Whip of the House of Representatives, Honorable Ibrahim Isiaka, described it as a display of unity and harmony within the party.
Thank His Excellency the Governor for bringing all of us together, and the synergy has formed. And the progress we have in the state. Of course, you can look at the KPI, the key performance and the indicators, and that's why, to God Lord be the glory, you can see how people are rallying around the party, simply because of him, and of course that of Ashwaju and many of us supporting the government.
The newly elected executive members of the party were presented to the party members and were unanimously accepted, and the local governments visited. Matthew Showme, OGTV News.
The Ogun State Independent Electoral Commission has conducted a by-election in Ohumbe, Ward 8 of Uwe North local government area to fill a vacant councillorship seat. The exercise follows the death of the former councillor, Honorable Sunday, with electoral officials assuring residents of a transparent and credible process. Taiwo Fabajo reports.
Electorate in Ohumbe converged on the 21 polling units across Ward 8 as early as 8 a.m. to elect local government council. The by-election became necessary following demise of the former councillor Honorable Sunday Opesa months ago. Security agencies, including the Nigerian Police Force, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, and Amotekun Corps are deployed to polling unit and the collation center to ensure the safety of voters and electoral materials. After casting their ballots, many residents gather at the collation center in anticipation of the results. The returning officer, Kabiru Oyeyemi, announces the candidate of the All Progressive Congress as winner of the by-election.
That Okweisha Moses of APC, having scored the majority of 2,255 votes, is hereby declared the winner of the election and returned.
Residents, including the monarch of the town, describe the exercise as peaceful, free, and fair. They note that voting materials arrive early and that the process commences promptly.
This type of election is never coming up, but this one is very surprised and very fantastic. The security on ground, police, DSS.
This is a peaceful election, no rancor, transparent, peaceful, and the turnout is very impressive. Although today is our market, but besides that, people they came and voted, and everybody go back to their various working place.
OGTV's chairman, Mr. Babatunde Oshibodu, represented by a commissioner in the commission alongside the permanent secretary, expressed satisfaction with the orderly conduct of voters and assures that the commission remains committed to credible local government elections across the state.
Try is to always have that election where the electors will have peace of mind anytime we are out to have this sort of exercise. They should be rest assured that we are to be seen and to be appreciated for being fair, transparent, and peaceful by every standard.
Security agencies, which I personally handle, they perform extremely well. In fact, we give them kudos.
The councillor-elect is expected to receive the certificate of return later.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has said the low turnout recorded in Saturday's by-election in Kano State may not be unconnected with Ramadan and public perception that the contest involved few candidates. The INEC resident electoral commissioner in the state, Ambassador Abdul Zango, made this known while addressing newsmen during the on-the-spot assessment of the poll at Kano municipal area of the state. Ambassador Zango adjudged the election as peaceful and violence-free, commending residents for their orderly conduct. The Ogun State government has debunked its alleged involvement in rumors that the Ifa Oracle has chosen Prince Ademori Aliu Kuye as the next Awujale of Ijebuland, and that the state government has endorsed or supported this purported outcome. The government, in a statement by Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Ganiu Amzat, states that it is not involved in, nor has it endorsed any such claim. The statement says that the process for the selection and installation of the next Awujale of Ijebuland is guided strictly by the applicable laws, established procedures, and recognized traditional customs. It adds that any suggestion that the government has adopted or approved a candidate through an oracle or any informal process is false, misleading, and should be disregarded by the public. Furthermore, the Ogun State government wishes to inform all stakeholders and the general public that the process for filling the vacant stool of the Awujale of Ijebuland has presently been halted. It notes that the decision was taken in view of the various complaints and petitions received concerning this selection procedure. It explained that the temporary suspension is to allow for due review and to ensure that process remains transparent, lawful, and acceptable to all concerned parties. The government, the statement emphasizes, remains committed to maintaining peace, order, and respect for due process and traditional institutions across the state. The Ogun State government says it is taking decisive action and scientific steps to address concerns over the alleged lead poisoning in the Ogijo community. During a continued community engagement, the Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, gave the assurance to residents, stating that the state remains committed to transparency, credible findings, and long-term health monitoring. Margaret Okunlola has the details.
Ogijo in Ogun State was thrust into global attention late last year following international media reports highlighting alleged cases of lead poisoning in the area, prompting swift action by the Ogun State government, including the immediate shutdown of the battery recycling companies allegedly involved, as well as conducting of soil, water, and air quality analyses in the affected communities, as well as engagement with the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research to carry out health audit, beginning with the collection of samples from over 500 individuals in the affected communities. Addressing community leaders and stakeholders during a consultation meeting, the State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Tomi Koka, said both the Ministries of Environment and Health initiated independent assessments to determine the true situation on the ground.
We wanted our audit to be scientific rather than knee-jerk, and NIMA came into the community last Monday, and they've actually taken over 500 samples. This is just a preliminary engagement to allay the fears of the people that they're on the mind of the governor. The governor has not forgotten you, but the governor wanted to do the proper thing, the right thing, so that we can get the right result.
The Director General of the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, Professor John, disclosed that the collected samples include those from pregnant women, lactating mothers, children, and school-aged residents. A significant expansion from the initial 70 individuals earlier identified with elevated blood lead levels.
This is just the first part of it, collecting the samples. We still have to go back and do the analysis and then draw conclusions.
On behalf of residents of the area, the Ologijo of Ogijo, Oba Kazim Badamosi, stressed that the community is ready to collaborate with the government.
We are passionately, anxiously looking forward to the report. The report will give the government levels of how things are, and then the government then will be able to offer the necessary remedy.
The meeting was interactive as the medical team engaged residents. Dr. Tomi Koka added that once the independent report is received from the Nigeria Institute of Medical Research, its recommendations will be forwarded to the governor, shared with the community, and implemented collaboratively. Margaret Okunola, OGTV News.
3 years after its establishment, the Elim 3 Welfare Initiative is strengthening its call for inclusive partnerships to uplift the less privileged in society. The organization says meaningful impact in education, early care and general well-being can only be achieved through deliberate collaboration among government, parent, alumni bodies, community leaders and non-governmental organizations. The renewed appeal was made at the 3rd anniversary celebration of the humanitarian organization, where stakeholders gather to reflect on its journey and chart a sustainable path towards expanding access to quality education and social support services.
From awareness to action, bridging the gap for the underprivileged, the Alien 3 Welfare Initiative marks its 3rd anniversary, coinciding with the birthday celebration of its founder, Mrs. Fumi Baker. The colorful event brings together dignitaries, partners and beneficiaries to reflect on 3 years of impact and renewed commitment to humanitarian service. Welcoming guest, the founder of the Alien 3 Welfare Initiative, Mrs. Fumi Baker, who also serves as Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, call on well-meaning individuals to join hands in creating a better everyday life for the common people.
We unite under the pregnant from awareness to action, bridging the gap for the underprivileged. Awareness serves as the vital spark that awakens our collective conscience. In our world, millions languish in the shadows of poverty, denied access to education, healthcare, and the fundamental dignity every human deserves.
Chairman of the occasion, Mrs. Fumilayo Efuakwe, represented by Erelu Dupe Usman, notes that the Alien 3 initiative continues to grow stronger in its support for the less privileged and vulnerable members of the society.
It is action that will shape destiny, restore dignity, unlock pathways for the underprivileged to flourish. In 3 remarkable years, Alien 3 has embodied the truth through targeted programs in education and community development.
Delivering the keynote address, Dr. Olubiyi Adesina speaks extensively on the theme, emphasizing that moving from awareness to action requires collective responsibility and sustained community support to truly bridge the gap for the underprivileged.
Let us live here with the determination to put in our widow's mind into the basket of help. We must identify the means by which we can offer help, and the other 3 foundation is one of such vehicles that we can use to help.
Goodwill messages also came from Dr. Rotimiolu Akinesi, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, representatives of the Ministry of Education, Science and Technology, as well as Ogun State Comptroller of Immigration, among others.
Keep doing the little. Nobody can do it all. You cannot help everybody. The little, the small number that God has sent you to, you just give 2 minutes.
He has gone to our village, he has gone to churches, he has gone to church, and by the grace of God, very soon he will go international.
The celebration features the cutting of the anniversary cake and presentation of gifts to selected beneficiaries, adding color and excitement to the event.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church, Ogun Province, has held its first quinquennial constituency session and education service at Babcock Academy at Jebo Road, Abeokuta. The 5-yearly sessions brought together pastors, administrators, and accredited delegates from across the province to review activities of the past term and set strategic direction for the next 5 years. Testimony Komalafe was there, and a report is presented from our studios.
The dedication service started with a deeply spiritual glow to the occasion. Soul-stirring hymns filled the auditorium. Harmonies from the choir, lifted heart, and fervent prayers created an atmosphere of reverence and renewal. The message delivered charged members to remain steadfast, united, and mission-driven.
Begin to read from verse 1. God himself instructed Moses to send spies to the land of Canaan, because there was need for them to go and view the land, to know whether what God had promised them was pursuing or not.
A major highlight of the event was the affirmation of provincial leaders who will guide the church for the next 5 years. The process reflected order, transparency, and deep spiritual commitment. Smiles and words of encouragement greeted the newly affirmed officers as they embraced their responsibilities.
I feel humbled because nobody is qualified for it. But when God has chosen you, He will qualify you.
Well, you know, it's like a kind of oath of office. And that was what the first did. When people are elected to serve in position of authority, we charge them. But as Christians, beyond the charge, we have what we call consecration service. In other words, setting them apart for the assignment that God has called them to do.
Reports presented at the gathering highlight journalism, youth development, education, and community outreach, with church leaders noting steady growth and expanded mission effort within Ogun State. The event concluded with a dedication service featuring hymns, prayers, and a charge to members to remain united and committed to advancing the mission of the church.
The 8th-day fidal for late Alhaji Moise Adetunji Ogunfemi provided an opportunity for Muslim faithful to converge and offer special prayers for the deceased. Alhaji Moise Adetunji Ogunfemi died on 12th of February 2026 at the age of 85. Ayodeji Tomori Olowome reports.
On the 8th day of the demise of Alhaji Moise Adetunji Ogunfemi, family members, community chiefs, religious leaders, and people from all walks of life gathered to offer special prayers for the repose of the soul of the deceased. It was another opportunity for attendees to reflect on death and the journey to eternity. Attendees were reminded that life is a temporal journey.
The caliber of people present here attests to the life and impact of Alhaji Ogunfemi. Therefore, we all should live a life worthy of emulation.
Alhaji Moise Adetunji Ogunfemi was described as a religious and community man who served humanity in various capacities.
When he was in the service, he tried his best to ensure that we have a vibrant public service, and after retirement, as a member of our association, he contributed immensely to the growth and development of the association.
At family gatherings, he was always present, and he was always doing all he had to do, as expected of him.
His contribution to the Muslim Ummah, not only in Abeokuta, Ogun State, Nigeria, is very profound.
Family members described the late Moise Adetunji Ogunfemi as a devout patriarch, a man of integrity, and a pillar whose wisdom binds the family together.
Also, is the best of that. Was a lovely man, a disciplinarian, and a very diligent, hardworking, honest individual. So I'll say he's a typical example of what Yoruba will call Omoluabi.
Dad was a very unassuming man, very loving, very intellectual, very jovial, humorous. I mean, we always exchange blanters. Anytime he's calling, he had a nickname or a special way to address each of us. He's a very pleasant Muslim. Very, very reserved and intelligent. He's honorable.
Alhaji Muiz Adetunji Ogunfemi was the Alaga Adini of Oloke Muslim community, Alaga Adini of Ikija Muslim community, Akishegun of Egba Okeono Muslim community, as well as Akishegun of Egba Muslims. He retired as the Director General of Ogun State Civil Service in the year 1994. Alhaji Ogunfemi died on the 12th of February 2026 at the age of 85. Ayodeji Tomori Olurunmi, OGTV News.
May so rest on. Now to the foreign scene. President Donald Trump has imposed an additional 10% tariff on import into the United States after the Supreme Court struck down many of his sweeping and often arbitrary duties, delivering a stinging rebuke to his signature economic policy. Trump signed the tariff order in the Oval Office, saying on social media it was effective almost immediately after spending the past year imposing the rate to cajole and punish countries, both afraid and foe. The new duty is slated to take effect February 24 for 150 days, with exemptions remaining for sectors that are under separate probes, including pharma and goods entering the U.S. under the U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, according to a White House fact sheet.
Focus could make concrete commitments from world leaders less likely, while France's demand for generative AI is less likely. While France's demand for generative AI has turbocharged profits for many tech companies, anxiety is growing over the risk that it poses to society and the environment. Touted as the largest edition yet, the event is expected to attract tens of thousands of visitors from across the sector. That includes 20 national leaders and 45 ministerial-level delegations who will meet the tech CEOs, including OpenAI's Sam Altman. Tariq Rahman has been sworn in as the new Prime Minister of Bangladesh after his Bangladesh Nationalist Party BNP handily won parliamentary elections last week. The 60-year-old is the son of former Prime Minister Khalid Zia and assassinated President Ziaur Rahman and will serve a 5-year term. President Mohammed Shahabuddin administered the oath of office for Rahman, and dozens of cabinet members and members of the new government were also sworn in. With his swearing in, Rahman replaces an interim government led by Nobel Peace Prize Mohammed Yunus that oversaw the election, which was largely peaceful and widely accepted by international observers. Lawmakers who also promised